I'd like to call the City Council meeting to order. I'd like to invite everyone to rise and join in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Phyllis, could we have roll call, please?
Kim Collier.
Here.
Craig Koshaw.
Here.
Matt Dyer.
Here.
Tyler Fulenkamp.
Here.
Wiley Clerk.
Here. You were all emailed a copy of our minutes from the February 21st council meeting. If you've had a chance to review those minutes, would I have a motion to approve them?
So moved.
Second it. I have a motion and 2 seconds to approve the minutes from our February 21st meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, the same. First thing up tonight I have is the Decatur Sculpture Tour with their event form, I believe. Yes, you're up.
Hello, Gene.
We have some forms that we're handing out to you on the back. You'll see our schedule, our tentative schedule for June 9, which is a Friday. We're asking if they're about halfway down or three-quarters of the way down, you'll see our requested for street closings. We're asking 2nd Street from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., Madison Street 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., 3rd Street 3 to 10, 4th Street 4 to 10 p.m.
Thank
and
you.
then I've got some other streets listed there on the distance of what streets would be closed. We're going into our 6th year, and we're very excited about this because on our very first year in 2012, we had 12 exhibits. That was 8 outdoor and 4 indoor. This year, we're having to have 2 sets of jury times because we have so many exhibits. We had to do an initial reduction of the number of exhibits that came in. And then our second, we're going to finalize those exhibits. We have artists coming in, or artists that have submitted entries from South Dakota, West Virginia, Chicago, Minnesota, Missouri. We've got 7 different states, 8 different states that are represented that quite potentially will be bringing their exhibits in. And I think you're going to find that we have transitioned from getting started and trying to learn our way around about how to put exhibits on original works of art on our sidewalks to this is a pretty darn good show that we're going to be having. Greg, you might want to explain some of the artists that you coerced and invited to.
Yeah, as Connie said, this will be our 6th year, so we have figured out a lot of ways to make things run a lot more smoothly. And just because of the history that we have here in Decatur, we've been able to get a lot of notable artists to participate this year. So part of the reason that we're taking a second meeting to go through the entries this year is we want to try to include everyone, and at the same time we need to try to figure out how to be a little bit more selective because I want to say 95% of our submissions this year are nationally recognized artists that
Cool.
and their artwork pretty much can be seen throughout the country. So this year it is going to grow quite a bit. A lot of the pieces, another reason that we're asking for the streets to be closed a little bit sooner than we have in the previous years is, again, most of the pieces are double in size. So not only is the caliber of the show growing, but so is the size of the sculptures. So it's going to take a little bit more manpower and just figuring out how to get some pieces off the trailers and do the kind of flow there.
Since Jeremy's not here tonight, we'll just tell you, it'll be no problem. Jeremy's
Well, again, if the streets are closed, I think it will help everyone out with the safety issue as far as not having cars coming by while there's sparks flying and sculptures coming off the trailers. We're looking forward to this year quite a bit.
And Jean heads up our food vendors, and you've got some things to add.
Yes, and we're looking into the possibility of having plein air artists come. Plein air is a form of art where you are painting what is in front of you, so it's a very, it involves the viewer because you can see what the artist sees, and they are painting as they go, so they are setting up at various places throughout, the 2nd Street area where we were asking for closing. That would start a little sooner than what we did do last year with our first year of the plein air artist. So we're hoping to engage the public who could come down during the day. So you can see we're asking for 10 o'clock in the morning to begin.
The plein air art will be Friday rather than Saturday?
Friday.
I guess it was Friday last year, but it was just in the evening, yeah.
Yes, only in the evening.
Yeah.
So they had to work pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So this will give them a little bit more time. And we were also looking at the possibility of artists selling their wares, selling their works earlier in the day too and throughout the day. So we're actually going to be meeting on that this Friday.
Right.
So we'll be finalizing some of them. But we wanted to make sure first that would even be a possibility, before we
Hold it up. I asked Melissa to go get. I bought the winning piece last year, and he was standing out about in front of the Hope Chest, looking this way. And you see the Fifth Third building and looking downtown. No. But I thought that was so cool last year. John Kelty was the painter that did that. That was the winning piece last year.
And he did that from, you have to have a designated start time and end time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's also a race against time. Is that just magnificent?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's pretty notable.
But I loved the plein air art thing last year, and I want to continue to have it. I think it's the kind of thing that I think the mayor, whoever the mayor is going forward, should always buy that piece, and they can be hung up at City Hall, the winning piece, and yeah.
And not only are we looking for street closings, but we're also hoping that we might get some financial support from the city of Decatur. I believe in the past there was a $500 support. We will take anything. RED won't be one of our main supporters this year, and our show is growing. In order for us to get the caliber of artists in that we're getting in, we're hoping that we can increase their honorarium as well as provide mileage. And we had 59 exhibits that were submitted this year, 59, and we have 31 bases. Starting with 12, our very first year we had 12 exhibits, and they were Greg's friends. They were all of his friends that he could be able to rally together to help participate in our first. And now we are up to 28 artists have submitted entries. So we're very pleased with the growth, and we would hope that the city of Decatur would also be able to provide some financial support as a sponsor. So I guess we've got a couple questions that we're asking.
Sponsorship and okaying the event. Now, have you filled out the event form, the actual event form?
I've gotten some signatures.
And got the signatures
So
and
I'm
everything?
on my way of getting all the signatures.
Okay.
I've got to present to the commissioners yet because we're hoping to use the courthouse perimeter
Yeah.
as well as the rest.
Yeah. I think that I'll need a motion to approve it, but I think that likely we are in full support of this. And in a short period of time, this festival has become Decatur. It's kind of making Decatur a destination for out-of-towners, and yeah, it's a great venue. I love it. I'm privileged to get to be on your committee, which a lot of things I have to do aren't fun, but being on your committee is really pretty neat to be able to be part of.
Oh, good. Well, thank you for
And while I do that, I have a Facebook account, and it was pretty cool. Last week I was on Facebook, and lo and behold, here's Martha. Is that Martha? Is that her name? Doug Doan's wife. Martha. And Rob Doan. Rob Doan lives in Florida, and they're standing by a piece of art that Alex Mendez did in Florida. What's the name of that town? DeLand, Florida. And I thought, well, how cool is that? There's two people one person from Decatur, one from Florida, and they're standing by Alex Mendez's piece of art in Florida, and they posted it on Facebook. So,
We've got a lot of artists that have pieces throughout the United States, and the gallery is intended for artists to sell their skills, so that people will either commission their work or buy the pieces that are on exhibit. And the resumes some of them are 3 pages long, of the cities and the states that they're in. We are getting some really notable artists in. This is honestly as much a surprise to me as an independent. anyone, but it's just working. It's just it's working because we're all enjoying it and we're supporting it, and if it wouldn't be for...
And so are the artists. The artists that come here have a blast. They really enjoy this venue, so that helps. You know,
They like to stay out late.
Yeah.
These guys can hang with them, I can't.
So we have two motions. One that you're looking for a sponsorship. The second, looking for an event okay. Could I first of all get a motion on the floor to okay this event for
So moved.
June 9th and into 10th, or just the 9th?
Just the 9th.
Just the 9th.
Artist reception is on Thursday, but that's not
Right.
associated with the
Right,
street closing.
right.
I'll second that
So I have a Wiley motion and a second from Craig. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Thank you. So we have our event. Next, you said our sponsorship last year, I see it was a gold sponsorship. That was what the city was?
You know, I think that it was a $500 sponsorship, but you know, there's no reason to hang there. It seems like that's been, and we've appreciated that sponsorship, but
Well, do you know what the levels are? Platinum, silver, gold, bronze, what the...
I want to say
Is it on here anywhere?
platinum is over 2,500. Maybe gold is 1,000.
Well, gold is 1,000, but the city of Decatur did provide some...
In-kind service, yes. And I think that's why you recognized us with all the city employees that helped with the setup, yes. That's why.
We wouldn't be able to do it without this.
City, with Jeremy's and his guys, yeah. What's the platinum?
The platinum is 25
Okay.
or more.
I would say we
That's
probably...
the sort of market, 25 and higher. You just kind of lump it all in. Yeah.
That's a lot of money. Would we entertain 1,000?
1,000 plus our in-kind services? Phyllis, do we have money in a budget somewhere to come up with more? Common council promotion? I'm for it, but I don't have a vote.
I understand that 1,000 plus the in-kind would certainly take you to the platinum level.
I'll make a motion for 1,000.
I'll second.
Motion and a second for Decatur to be a platinum sponsor, $1,000 plus our in-kind services, which is probably worth 500 to 1,000 more at least. Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Thank you very much, Sculpture Tour Committee. Next, we have the 5 young ladies in the second row with their safe shirts on here for a proclamation. Are you all willing to come and speak, or what do you want us to do other than read the proclamation?
Well, actually, Sandy Brown was the one who was supposed to be here, but she's playing grandma right
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
Lori and I are going to...
Okay, please do. Then when you're done, we'll read the proclamation.
Thank you.
Safe and Adams County...
Excuse me just a second, though.
Oh,
Before,
okay.
before we get started, could all of you introduce yourself, including the shy one in the second row?
She's never been shy.
I'm Abby Martin.
Mary Birch.
And you are?
Lori Logan.
Lori Logan
Cindy Keeney.
and Cindy King. Thank you. Now go ahead, Cindy.
Okay.
Thank you, Lori.
Safe and Adams County is an organization that we started 2 years ago to help prevent child abuse. And we are not just the only group in the state for this. It's a statewide, national organization, Prevent Child Abuse Indiana and Prevent Child Abuse America. So it's not just a small little group that decided this is our own thing that we're going to do. We are affiliated with both the Indiana and the national group. And for those of you who have the flyer, there are different dates. Some of the things we've already done. We participate in the Trick or Treat at Safety Park. We are known for the pinwheels, which are to represent happy, healthy children, which is what we want everywhere. And so
We had a human trafficking program at Riverside Center earlier in the year, and there were several people from the community who came to that, and we were so pleased because, as you've heard on the news, human trafficking is a real problem, along with any kind of child abuse. So we had cupcakes and canvas and painting for the children to do in a couple different times. One of our main things is in April, which is Prevent Child Abuse Awareness Month. We had Sergeant Terry Hall come, and he talks to students at the school about body safety and sexual abuse, and lets the children know what is okay, what's not okay, and is very open about it, and uses terminology that the children will know, so that if they say somebody touched me and they say the right words, then the parents are going to listen, because normally they don't say those things. So he does meet with the community on Monday, April the 3rd at 7 at Riverside Center. In the past, we've met at the middle school. This year, everything's going to be at Riverside Center. Preschool is going to be at the Riverside Center. And like I said, the community meeting with adults is at Riverside Center on the 3rd. So the week of April 3rd through the 7th, he will meet with students from Belmont, Adams Central, Zion, St. Joe, any others? Lincoln's not doing it, not yet, right?
So we have our elementaries too.
Yeah, right, the elementary, yeah. He's doing elementary and preschool, middle school too. So anyway, we are trying to reach out to make an awareness and try to help people, help others so that this doesn't happen. And Lori has more information to tell about. She's a part of our group too, and she does some special things. Send it over to you.
Thanks. So last April, I joined SAFE, and I attended Terry Hall's community meeting, and was just to have it display with turnout with parents. And I started to ask myself, what can I do to prevent child abuse in Adams County? So that led me on a path to becoming a facilitator for the Darkness Flight. And this is a sexual abuse awareness prevention program for adults. Everybody's all for letting someone come into the school, talk to the kids about body safety, but how much effort do we put forth as adults into prevention? So this is just a 2-hour program. Nurses, social workers get 2 CEUs for attending. I think I still have a little over 20 slots available. For a fee of $5, usually the training is $20.
Where and when do you do this?
Well, right now I have a few trainings set up at the hospital. The dates sometimes are on the blue brochure.
Okay.
But I'm available to...
Excuse me, Lori? Yeah, they don't have the updated version, but I can tell them.
Okay.
At the hospital, April 15th from 9 to 11. And then another one, April 26th, 6 to 8 o'clock. Sorry, we just got
Okay.
The second one, April 26th, from when to when?
6 to 8 p.m. at the hospital.
Thank you. Okay.
So those are open to the public, and then I'm available to speak at any youth-serving organization, churches, schools. I haven't had enough time to promote it as much as I would like to, just working full-time and having 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of work in itself. So
Good.
you guys have any questions? I explained it well.
Any questions, council? I think we're blessed to have a group of parents that are willing to run this child abuse program, and thank you for starting up the Darkness to Light seminars, whatever you call them there. Training. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and read an official proclamation from the City of Decatur. whereas child abuse and neglect is a community condition and problem, and finding solutions depend on involvement among people in the community, and whereas the effects of child abuse and neglect are felt by whole communities and need to be addressed by the entire community, and whereas Prevent Child Abuse Indiana and Prevent Child Abuse Adams County are sponsoring several events throughout the month to heighten public awareness of prevention in communities and around the state. These events will provide information and materials that support families to prevent child maltreatment and celebrate people who work with and support children and families. And whereas a statewide Pinwheels for Prevention campaign has been launched through the media, public schools, libraries, social security agencies, and businesses during the month of April to celebrate and bring awareness of the great potential of all children in Indiana and need to strengthen all families with support and nurturing. And whereas the Pinwheels for Prevention campaign includes the planting of pinwheel gardens statewide, celebrating community partnerships for strengthening the family and protecting all children from abuse and neglect. And whereas effective child abuse prevention programs succeed because of partnerships creating among social service agencies, schools, religious and civic organizations, law enforcement agencies, and business community. And the last whereas, all citizens should become more aware of the power of prevention within the community and become involved in supporting parents to raise their children in a safe, nurturing environment. Now, therefore, I, Ken Meyer, Mayor of the City of Decatur, by virtue of the authority vested in me, do hereby proclaim April 2017 as National Child Abuse Prevention Month and call upon all citizens, community agencies, religious organizations, medical facilities, and businesses to increase their participation in our efforts to prevent child abuse, thereby strengthening the community in which we live. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand the 7th day of March in the year of our Lord 2017, and I signed it, Mayor Ken Meyer, City of Decatur. So thank you very much for all that you do. So, and this copy would be for you girls, so you can hang around if you want. Any other comments on this before we move on the agenda? Okay, if not, next on the agenda, I need to make a matter of record the publication of the city's cash and investments as of year-end 2016. Phyllis had posted that as a legal notice. Our cash and investments, I'm not going to go over it all. It'll take all day to read all that. So if I could make this a matter of record. Can you have questions? No. I have a motion? And a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, the same. Okay, that's been made a matter of record. And then the next thing on the agenda is the last meeting we had. A gentleman was here from Hoosier Start to discuss the
investing.
Thank you. Investing for the city employees, another option in addition to nationwide. And if council would want to move forward with this, then I need your approval, and then from there we would have to plan a resolution to be read at our next meeting to put that into effect. So, any discussion?
Or discussion first?
If you want discussion, is there are you all in favor of adding this to our?
I think we owe it to our employees to have another option that may be a better option for them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really ultimately their decision, but it sounds like for many of them, especially younger employees, Absolutely. It may be a much better opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it takes the fiduciary responsibility away from the liability of the city of Decatur.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So I think the question we have then is, for new enrollees, new employees, are we limiting to Hoosier Start? That's the only way we're going to get to...
Right.
I think, yes.
Away from the fiduciary.
Yeah.
Right.
But certainly not taking away from
those
an employee who are already locked in and
grandfathered.
happy with what they have.
Yeah.
Is that what you were thinking, as far as moving forward?
Kim, he's the professional.
Well, no, I think it certainly makes sense to me. I mean, I think we're...
If it's a benefit to the employees, it's
Yeah.
probably the best.
It's not like we need to pitch it. They'll come in and pitch it to the
Right.
employees.
Right.
But I think we have to give them the opportunity to examine it and look at it, and then, like I said...
So in essence, we are transitioning our plan to Hoosier Start
Right.
for however long it takes.
Right. That being the case, I would need a motion for us to move forward with this, and then at the next meeting, we would read a resolution.
I'll make a motion that we move forward with
Hoosier Start.
Hoosier Start.
I'd second that.
Have a motion and a second, and all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, the same? Okay.
Resolution be...
That is actually all we have on the agenda this evening, but I know we have a couple of guests here, and that's their first time coming here. However, they're representing Abate, the motorcycle group that has done the rallies here. It's just that they've got new officers, it seems, and so this is their first time here. And I spoke with you briefly before the meeting. Go ahead, if you'd kind of like to tell us what you'd like to plan, and then we'll set you up with the event form and go from there.
Okay. Well, we're
go through and proceed.
Abate of Indiana.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We work with legislation pertaining to motorcycling in Indiana. And
Thank you.
we also do training for motorcycle safety and get people licensed so they're riding their bikes legally. My name's Pam McCoy, sorry, I'm the new Region 0 Director, replacing Teresa Bodel. And I'm not from this area, so this has been kind of hard to get here. Straight to work. But I did go to the Mayor's Ride that ended in Decatur last year, and it was wonderful. I live in Columbia City, and Columbia City wanted us to go there, and I see no reason to change it. I think that
Thank you.
it's awesome here. It worked out really well, and I don't see any reason to change it. But we would like to change the date. Previously, it's been the first Sunday in June, and we would like to change it to the second Sunday in June, which is June 11th.
Is that going to cause a problem with the sculpture tour?
We don't think so. We don't think that'll cause any hiccups whatsoever with the sculpture tour.
Two activities will be over on by Sunday.
Just kind of be a nice little way to cap off the weekend, I guess, you know, the sculpture tour on Friday and Saturday, and the rally on Sunday.
It actually kind of helps because high school graduation
Was the week
was
before.
the week
Well,
before.
This is a better weekend.
And so
we
this-
have 12 regions, and I'm from Region 1, and that's like, I know all those people, and they
Yeah.
have a big rally that goes on, and there's another one in Huntington area, and I think we'll
Right.
be able to get more people.
Right. And we
Maybe
also
not
have...
This year, it might go down a little bit, because we might mess people up with changing the date, but they'll get used to it.
You-
And we also have the flea market on the first Sunday, so there
We won't be competing with that.
Yeah.
Right. It's a good move.
Yeah.
Okay, great. This is James Rumschlag. He is the Adams County rep,
representative.
and he knows what streets we need.
I live here in Decatur, and when we do the forms as far as the street closures and stuff, I'm not going to bore you
Right.
on all that.
You'll put that on the event form.
Right, on the form. And I myself, just a little personal, I was born and raised here in Decatur, graduated from Adams Central, joined the Navy, did a 22-year career in the Navy, and then did another career in Florida. And I have moved back to my hometown here in Decatur, where I was born and raised. And we look forward to having this event there on the 11th of June.
I look forward to having you. You'll probably bring in some food vendors and whatever.
Food vendors, last year we did have the Tiny Tots experience, the little 50cc motorcycles. Unfortunately, we have a big state event down in Indianapolis that weekend, and both trailers that we have, they're not going to be available to bring to Decatur. So we're going to get for something else for the kids to do, some bouncy houses, something.
Right, because we want, it's
for that.
a family event.
Right.
And the more trinket type vendors, leather vendors. Other than that, I thought it
And we
was
try
great.
to use, as far as the food and all that, use the local vendors here from this area.
Yeah, they'll get first pay.
Yep. Okay.
Your predecessor set up a great event. Continue it on. The community likes it. We're glad you like Decatur.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll get you that event form.
What time do those bikes start coming into town? That's one of the coolest things.
We're going to kickstands up at 11:30 in Fort Wayne.
So probably 12:30.
Noon, quarter after.
Yeah.
How many do you expect?
They had 660 last year.
That was awesome.
Yeah. That wasn't the most. You've had more than that.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or we shoot for more.
Yeah.
And sadly, the year before, and I just moved over to this area, to Columbia City, and it was a bad storm, or the weather wasn't good, or it was going to rain. I didn't go the year before. But yeah, it's been around for a long time.
Okay, good. Thank you. Forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for working with us.
That's everything on the agenda. The only other thing I have on the marriage report, I'll report, and it's already been made aware to the media, that FEMA funds were awarded to Decatur, $875,000 eligible project dollars. 25% of that, $142,000, will be funded by us, which you as council voted on to take down 6 structures in 2017. This will take us up to 74 homes that we will have taken out of the floodway.
How much was that amount?
The amount, FEMA will pay 75% of the $875,000 eligible project costs.
Yeah, we're getting it.
525, 875.
$570,875. $570,875. That's the eligible project cost. 25%, which is $142,719, will be provided by the City of Decatur and the Maumee River Basin Commission to complete the 6-structure project. And then breaking that down just a little bit more, the $142,000, Decatur will provide $45,000 of that by way of in-kind services, $62,718 in cash, and then the Maumee River Basin Commission will throw in the last $35,000, which totals the $142,718. So, again, that's a great thing. I kidded Roger this morning. I told him that Rod Rinkenberger got a hold of me and said Roger wasn't going to retire until we got to 75 homes, so I guess he can't retire in May now because we're one short. He says, yeah, try to stop me. That's all I have on the mayor's report. How about department heads? Dan, do you have anything tonight?
No, just on the well side out there, we're still waiting on the test results to come back. They did a pretty extensive set of tests, so all the results aren't back yet. So we're waiting on that.
Yep. Greg?
The only thing that I have would be our newest member of the department,
Blaze
Brooks. He would be, has passed everything with the state as far as physical and psychological testing. Everything's got the stuff. I've applied to PERF now for their approval, the retirement fund. And as soon as we get back the okay, hopefully within a couple of weeks, then we can be
suited up. Yep, good. Jamie, you got anything?
No, sir.
Les? Roger?
The only thing I would like to say is, Rod does a whale of a job with that MRBC and helping us do these flood buyout purchases. And I just encourage you to keep giving him your support.
Absolutely.
The guy works heart and soul into that.
And we need to encourage our state legislators to continue funding the MRBC. Yep.
He does a wonderful job.
Yep. And you have too, Roger. I'll tell you what, since 2003, Roger's learned a lot about floods, right, Roger?
Yeah, quite a little bit.
Yeah, quite a little bit.
Here to repeat,
And Melissa, how comments? Tim? Phyllis? Craig's back.
I gotta throw it out there. Spotlight Business Expo will be Saturday from 8 until 4. We're gonna have a lot of really cool stuff going on. We've got a Pinewood Derby. We've got a nationally sanctioned tractor pedal pulling contest from age groups 3 to 10. That registration starts around 11, and they'll be doing that out at the middle school. We've got, sweet cakes that are going to be doing face painting for the kids. And we've also got a character artist that volunteered today to come into town. So it's going to be a really cool deal. We've got a Rotary auction. We've got bingo. We've got a breakfast. And we've got a guest speaker from Limberlost is going to come up during breakfast to explain the Limberlost. He's a naturalist and site guy down there at Geneva, in the Limberlost area. But we've got tickets up here. The city's got tickets. We're charging $2 a day of the show. So if you want free tickets, come to City Hall and pick up your tickets, because we'll have plenty here, and if we don't, I'll get some more. So we encourage everyone to come out and support Decatur at the Spotlight Business Expo.
Thank you, Craig. How about public? Any of the public have any comments this evening? If not, I would look for a motion to approve our claims.
Motion to approve the claims. Second.
I have a motion and a second to pay our claims. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, the same.
And a motion to adjourn.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Thank you very much. We're adjourned.